Hi, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to be sharing the paper on enhancing food sustainability in Southeast Asia. It's a conceptual paper for poultry feed utilizing food waste, black soldier fly larvae, and seaweed. This is a paper presentation for the International Agricultural Innovation Conference 2024. With me, I have my co-author, Zihan. First, the introduction of this paper talks about the research goal. Our research goal is very simple. This is a conceptual paper to explore the sustainable animal feed solution utilizing food waste, black soldier fly larvae, and seaweed. There's a problem in Southeast Asia. You see, the unsustainable traditional animal feed production has huge cost and huge environmental impact. There is a rising demand and growing need for animal protein. They are of very low cost, very sustainable, and we are the paper that talks about the potential solution. The focus area for this paper is only on Southeast Asia because the unique challenges in poultry feed is very different from other parts of the world. The methodology of our paper is to engage very diverse and very in-depth discussion with key local stakeholders. And the key local stakeholders involve farmers who are actually breeding and also farming, residents who are staying in the city and outskirts of the city that this project is focusing on, wet market hawkers who are the people we take the sustainable food waste from, and food manufacturer clearly are the ones that also gives us the waste that we can turn into animal feed. We also examine all existing research that we can find on poultry, animal feed. We review the data from all past research, including the nutritional studies, lab tests, and its results. Zihan and myself, we also went to Phnom Penh, Cambodia, Bintan, Indonesia, to do field studies, carrying out real proof of concept projects, test pilot them, and therefore some part of it will be shown in today's paper. The solution. This paper that Zihan and myself urges is to use food waste, black soldier fly larvae, and seaweed. As we all know, food waste is the sustainable way for us to carry out the process, and it has huge benefit. The paper listed four, namely economic, environmental, nutritional, and convenience. The environmental impact is huge for traditional animal feed, and therefore the environmental benefit for this feed is humongous. First, we reduce waste in the city. And Zihan and myself, we are not just like, go in and say we want this ingredient. It is to examine the city's needs and city's wastes. So a waste in one city may not be a waste in another city, as Zihan and myself has seen in many, many Southeast Asian countries. Once the waste, real waste, is identified, we divert them from landfills and move them into our production, and therefore reducing landfills and clearly reducing methane emissions. Resource efficiency. Black soldier fly larvae in past research are found to be very efficient in converting waste to protein. lower footprint, clearly comparing to traditional feed ingredients. This solution is of very low carbon footprint. The second benefit is the nutritional benefit, and nutrition for animals for this waste is high. As you can see from the two test reports below, the protein level is exceeding the requirement for poultry, and the rest of the items like ash, fiber, fat, moist are all meeting the requirement. The bacteria level are also meeting very high requirement. This improves the health of the animals that we are feeding, both from immunity perspective and gut health perspective. The result, of course, is faster growth, but also reduce mortality. Fresh, high-quality feed reduces disease and therefore reduces mortality. The economic benefits are very clear. Lower cost because the ingredients are cheap or non-existent or free, reduces the need for us to have high expenses, increase productivity, healthier animal, produces higher yields, faster to the market. Market opportunity, we are tapping onto the growing demand for sustainably produced food, and the financial incentives are huge, not just for the local authorities, but government as a whole. Zahan and my discussions with many government officials shows that governments are sincerely and actively looking at ways for sustainable production of animal feed. So the case study is very exciting, and I invite Zahan to be sharing with all of you.
Thank you, Vincent, for your introduction. So, my name is Zihan. I'm here to present the Bintan, Indonesia case study, as well as the Phnom Penh, Cambodia. So what we do is that we go down to do a market survey to understand what is the available food waste that is in the particular countries, and then from there onwards we cater and address the specific challenge in each area. You can see from the left side of the picture that show two circuit poultry, that is one in black and one is white. They are placed side by side along to each other to comparing which type of feed does the poultry or the chicken likes. The one in black is actually the commercial feed that is used by the usual commercial feed that Bintan is using at around two months old. And the one in white is the feed that we formulate from our food waste. And then right now, the food waste is more than 2 months old, and yet it is more welcome by the poultry. As you can see, it's crowding the area, a circle in white. The feed was gone within 10 minutes. So one of the crucial assumption that we make is because of the enzyme that we added into this poultry feed. This enzyme promotes hydrolysis in this feed, whereby it breaks down the water, it removes the water molecule. So when water moisture has been removed from the animal feed, it lengthens and extends the shelf life of the animal feed. So that means that a typical commercial feed that is available in Bintan normally lasts for 3 to 6 months. That is the higher end. For us, we have done a shelf life testing can easily up to 2 years, because it doesn't absorb further water moisture, and it removes the water moisture within itself. So let me move to the pictures on the right. The picture on the right is actually a video. This video clips allows you to see that allows you to know that what happened is that the chicken is actually a very the chicken really like the animal feed that we produce. And this feed is actually made from coconut waste. So we talk about the coconut waste is actually the waste after they squeeze out for the coconut milk. And then the one in you can see in the white bucket. The white bucket is actually where the coconut milk, coconut waste is, and we formulate with our enzyme. And then you can see that the chicken actually is inside the bucket, feeding onto the coconut waste. And then we are loading the coconut waste into the feed, and then they are enjoying it. So the chicken, we know that the protein level of coconut waste is very low. We do understand that. So what happens here is that we incorporate fish meal and other adjective to increase to match the nutrition level of the required poultry feed required for the chicken, whereby we also meet the economic costs while it is around 20% cheaper than commercial farms. So right now, we have done a study for over a period of 3 months. Right now, the testimonial from the farmers shows that it improved the poultry health. There's zero mortality reported. It also increased the income of the farmers because the feed is much cheaper than commercial feed. It also reduced the environment impact whereby the food waste is not going to landfill. So there is quite a few successful stories from the farmers, not just in Bintan, Indonesia, but also Phnom Penh in Cambodia. The next I'd like to share with you is actually we can produce the animal feed at both female and farmer side. So what's so unique about us is that we can dry the food waste of 80% water content without the use of any heating equipment to moisture that we showed previously is less than 20% water moisture content. So there's no oven and heating equipment required for the system for the drying process. So that means that the capex investment for the farmers is way lower. That means that not just we can produce this animal feed at the feed mill, we can also allow the farmer to produce the animal feed itself. Excuse me. By letting them know of the formula. Meanwhile, we control the raw material to make sure that the QA and QC is up to our standard. We also into research-wise to look at the different others product line that is catered for the ruminant livestock like product 2, lamb and sheep, as well as product 3, which is shrimp, pig, and fish. Whereby we're using fish waste, coconut, seaweed, and spent grains to make it. The manufacturing can be done in multiple level or rack configuration. Allow me to pass back to Vincent where he will conclude the whole findings.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen, you have heard the very exciting case study by Zihan. And Zihan actually do the project. So it's not like, we are talking about real conceptual, although this paper is conceptual, he has done the real test pilot, the real proof of concept. But there are so many future works that are ahead of us. The paper is advocating the concept that can be expanded to many, many countries and cities. In fact, Zihan and we are working in Vietnam, in Vinh City, a province, southern part of Hanoi, the northern part of Vietnam. And we are introducing the same formula, and it appears to be garnering a lot of attention and interest. So if any of the audience has similar interest, please approach Zihan, and we are glad to be cooperating with like-minded people. The second portion will be introducing the seaweed element into the feed, and this will clearly and quickly reduce methane output for the livestock. It will also boost the health immunity system, and it has many other benefits, but it's part of our future work. Third, we will be including biochar production in the feed production pipeline. And those who know biochar, it creates so much more potential for such a process. And lastly, the potential of carbon credit in this project is very high. And of course, it is dependent on the verification later on. But at this stage, the paper is urging like-minded individuals or organizations to be approaching Zihan's organization and cooperate, focus, and let's reduce the greenhouse gas, both emission and footprint in the poultry farming area. So together with Zihan, we thank the audience for the listening, and we wish everyone a fantastic day ahead.